Well, thank you so much for helping my project. Could you say a couple words about yourself?
My name is Lisa. I'm a mom of two young boys, and I like to say that I have three boys because I got a very rambunctious husband as well. And I'm a working mom in the oil and gas industry with a background in working in lab development of um, oil field uh, chemicals, and then now I'm more into like project management and internal marketing. Um, right now, I'm still in like the thick of being a young mother, so I can't really talk too much on hobbies. Just trying to survive day by day.
I know after my kids left home and went to college, I'm like, what do I do with my time now?
I know I have lots of ideas about when I have that free time, but it just hasn't happened yet.
I definitely recommend keeping a list because you will
Yeah,
forget about those ideas before you know it.
true. I have these like little like beginner hobby packs, like tucked away in a closet. So eventually I'll get to them one day.
That's exciting. Yeah. My I have a lot of books and I haven't read a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I've been toting them around from house to house and stuff. And it's just like, getting rid of them is like not just getting rid of stuff, but giving up on
Hmm.
that thing. So
Yeah. You were
yeah.
at one point interested in learning more about that topic or whatever it was about. I'm right there with you. I do the same thing. But I also had young dreams when I was little of having like a library like in Beauty and the Beast, instead of like the fairy princess castle, I was more swooning over, oh, I want that library with the 3 foot lat or the 3 story ladder. And so I'm right there with you about the books.
I, as we move more to online media and e-readers, do you think we lose something getting away from actual physical books?
I think we do. I mean, I'm definitely I used to be a very voracious reader when I was younger, and I love this like smell of old books. I like to see the print. I like to see when they have the different styles of like the paper binding. I mean, I definitely appreciate the convenience of, the e-readers and having multiple books, and especially, when you're packing, for a vacation, you definitely don't want to lug around a giant 500-page novel. And I have done that. And then I read like maybe 10 pages, and it's just a real big bummer that you just carried around, 3 different states and you didn't even do anything with it. But I do feel there's just something special about having just a physical book. Um, but I think it's maybe if you find something that you've read digitally and it really speaks to you, then you would want to have that investment to have it physically around. And it also helps if you like want to refer out to people like, hey, I really enjoyed this, and you put that little stamp inside, return to the library of Lisa. And it's just something to share as well, as opposed to the digital versions.
Plus, you have that sense of progress of
Mhm.
you go create a stack. This is what I read in 2023. This is what I read in 2022. This is what I kind of.
Yes. Oh, mine. I mean, my goal is just to read. I remember it used to be like a book a month, and now it's a book a year because you just don't get around to it. I mean, you're tired. For me, I'm always choosing sleep. Hopefully, it'll get to the point where I won't choose sleep anymore because I'll get plenty of it. But for now, I'm still choosing sleep whenever I get the time for it.
Yeah, that's what they tell us at the hospital whenever you have the newborn. Sleep when the baby's sleeping.
Which is
I
the
know whenever
stupidest
they're
advice.
and when they're not sleeping, you can't do anything else. So that's
Yes, yes, because the baby is sleeping when you're driving the car, when you're pushing the stroller, when, like when you're vacuuming. I mean, you just can't sleep when the baby sleeps.
it's so true. It's so true. Well, I had a couple of questions I want to ask you. First off, did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts back to the moon?
That they are okay. Yes, I have heard of that, and only because my husband is very much a space aficionado. So yes, I have heard that.
What do you think about it?
I mean, I'm intrigued because it's just such a big gap between learning about it in history when you're younger about, oh, we sent someone to the moon, we stepped on the moon, and then it just kind of like, well, that was it. It was like like a one and done when we kind of learned about it. And then now here we are. I mean, it's many years later from when I learned about it in school. And so it seems exciting and interesting. And I don't know, I just don't know what to think about it just yet until we actually see the footage perhaps and see it like really in fruition.
Yeah, I imagine the video will be a lot more clear and useful. Maybe
Yeah,
3D, maybe it'd be VR, and you feel like you're actually there with them.
I know they'll have to do something to, calm down all the conspiracy theorists that said, "Oh, that was just a movie set in the back of Hollywood." So they'll definitely have to make sure it's but you never know. You never know.
I just wonder if there's anything that could convince a true conspiracy theorist. Like even if you showed them the landing site with like the bottom part of the lander, they'd be like, "Oh,
Hmm.
y'all just planted that there."
Hmm, right. Yeah, I feel like that, there's so much in their scope that they're too closed off to anything else.
At some point, you become so committed to your idea, you just
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to be wrong, right? I mean, if you've been believing it and spreading it around for however many years, I mean, yeah, you don't want to have that kind of change.
absolutely. Well, whenever you think about the future of humanity, say thinking out a long time in the future, say 200 years, do you see humans actually living on places other than Earth, or do you think we're ever going to be stuck on Earth, just making these little short trips to places?
I mean, just with the recent like development in the space exploration program, I do have a lot more hope that that would come to fruition than I would have had previously, because I mean, there just wasn't any, I wasn't seeing anything about space and space exploration. But now with um, the involvement of like, especially with SpaceX and how much progression they've done in just a short span of years, I do feel like, I mean, there's going to be leaps and bounds, especially how humankind is innovating. To know that, I mean, we barely had internet like 40 years ago, and and how like crazy digital we are now. I definitely think that they'll be able to find something in that. Maybe my kids' great grandchildren will get to, be the first generation on a new planet. Who knows?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And they might look back at this video.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, it's forever and ever. Let's see.
Well, if you were speaking to them now, what would you want to say to them
My great 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 grandchildren.
on another world?
Well, I mean, best of luck to be explorers in the new world, and um, you know, I just kind of feel like just do unto others, you would do have others do unto you, and um, yep, spread kindness. I don't
That
know.
sounds that sounds good. I mean, if people did that more, I think that would be a lot better.
Yeah, I, please don't do anything like Fern Gully and take away other planets like ecosystems for the sake of ourselves, hopefully, but maybe some cohabitation would be ideal.
Of course, every time we build a neighborhood, we kind of do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is part of humankind, so that's probably there'll probably be some of that.
If you could take a trip to space, would you?
Absolutely not.
No.
And it's more so of the transport there. Okay, I would say as it is now, and being like in the very confined space, that's a no-go for me. I already get pretty nervous on airplanes, so but if maybe if they evolve how you're transported, and maybe a little bit more luxury of space, for accommodating the trip, maybe I would think about it. But the way it is now, no, definitely not.
How about an experience like you might have on a cruise ship?
I have love-hate with a cruise ship. For the same reasons, it's just such a confined space. But I mean, I'm definitely, I won't say 100% no, but it's, as of now, it's probably like 90%.
Okay, so a hypothetical situation.
Yep.
Ace goes to a North Houston Space Society meeting, and he comes home and says, "Lisa, they're accepting applicants for Mars. Let's go." What do you do?
I would be like, yeah, I'm totally supportive of you going and fulfilling, your dream of exploring space, and I will be here with a sign when you get back.
But when they're only taking married couples.
Oh my gosh, that would be, I don't know. Are my kids like grown? Are they taken care of? Like, don't have to worry about them?
Yeah.
So that means I'll be old. I'll be old, and who knows? Maybe I'll be more adventurous because I mean, Ace's parents, I mean, they're always going on trips and cruises all over the place, and so maybe I'll be like them and be like, yeah, why not? Let's go to space. We'll see how it is in 20 years.
That's cool. It's definitely no reason to say no now.
Right, exactly. The opportunity hasn't presented itself, so I mean, I'm not going to close myself off to it, but I'm not. I don't know. I've done the whole scuba diving thing, and then I've always heard that that's like the closest that someone can be to like being in outer space, just because you're confined with the breathing apparatus, and then seeing everything but at the bottom of the ocean floor. And I did that when I was younger, and now that like I'm a mom, I tried to do it again, and my body rejected. Was like, nope, we're not going down there. We're not putting this thing on. We're not doing it. So. I don't know if I'll get back to that. So I kind of equate space exploration with that. Like, if my body's not willing to go back down under the ocean, like, I doubt it will let me go to outer space.
Well, awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for your time. That's all the questions I had, unless you had some questions for me or something else you wanted to add.
No, that was good. I mean, very easy to talk with you. So I'm glad that I could help you out with your project.
I really appreciate that. Well,
yeah.
I'll let you get back to your evening, and look forward to crossing paths soon.
Okay. Thanks, Nathan. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.